Good morning, America. As we look ahead, I have to be direct with you. The weather maps are showing something that we need to talk about, and we need to prepare for it now. The forecast for the summer of 2025 is pointing toward a period of extreme and prolonged heat for much of the United States. This isn't just a few hot days in July. Significant, widespread, potentially record-shattering. This event, which we are calling Heatwave 2025, has the potential to impact millions of people, from the heartland to the coasts. My job is to give you the forecast, but it's also to make sure you understand what it means for you and your family. This summer is shaping up to be more than just uncomfortable. It's about a fundamental shift in our weather patterns that will bring not only scorching temperatures, but also a heightened risk of severe storms. Think of it like a pot of water on the stove. When you turn up the heat, the water doesn't just get hot, it starts to bubble and boil over. That extra energy in the atmosphere is what will fuel powerful thunderstorms, flash floods, even tornadoes. We need to start thinking about summer safety in a whole new way, looking beyond just staying cool to being prepared for sudden, violent weather. The urgency I feel comes from what the long-range models are consistently showing us. Let's get started. Let's talk numbers, because they tell a story that we all need to hear. The year 2024 has already set the stage, with global temperature anomalies breaking records month after month. We're seeing an undeniable warming trend. This is scientific fact based on data from countless sources, including NOAA and NASA. These aren't small increases. Fractions of a degree, when averaged globally, mean a colossal amount of extra heat energy trapped in the atmosphere and oceans. That stored energy will supercharge weather systems in 2025. Recent research published this year shows the trend accelerating. Observed warming in the last decade has outpaced even aggressive climate models. Forecasters see probabilities for record-breaking heat in summer 2025 higher than ever. Across the plains and the Midwest, forecasts suggest days over 100 degrees Fahrenheit could double or even triple compared to long-term averages. This isn't one broken record. It's entire record books being rewritten across the nation. Think about what this means on a local level. A city like Chicago could be facing weeks of 90 degrees Fahrenheit days. Dallas could face 40-plus consecutive days above 100 degrees Fahrenheit. It's not just daytime highs. The numbers are clear. We must prepare for both. So why is this happening now? The primary driver behind Heatwave 2025 is a phenomenon we are seeing more frequently. A persistent and unusually strong high-pressure system, often called a heat dome. Imagine a giant lid being placed over a huge portion of the country. This dome of high pressure compresses the air, and as the air sinks, it warms up. It also acts as a block, preventing cooler air, preventing storm systems from moving in. The sun's energy gets trapped underneath this lid, baking the ground day after day, causing temperatures to climb to dangerous levels without any natural relief. This heat dome isn't forming in a vacuum. Its strength and persistence are being amplified by broader global patterns, most notably the ongoing effects of a strong El Niño event that transitioned into a La Niña pattern. The Pacific Ocean, in particular, is holding an unprecedented amount of heat energy. This warm water acts like a giant engine, pumping extra heat and moisture into the atmosphere, which can distort weather patterns thousands of miles away, including the jet stream over North America. Another critical piece of the puzzle is soil moisture, or rather the lack of it. It's like loading the dice for more frequent and more intense heat events. To truly understand the scale of Heatwave 2025, we need to look high up in the atmosphere at the jet stream. The jet stream is a fast-moving river of air that circles the globe. It acts as a boundary between colder air to the north and warmer air to the south. It guides our weather systems, steering storms, dictating our day-to-day temperatures. Typically, the jet stream flows in a relatively straight west-to-east pattern. Forecast models for this summer show the jet stream becoming extremely wavy and sluggish, almost like a meandering, slow-moving river. This wobble is a major cause for concern. When the jet stream develops deep north-south waves, weather patterns can get stuck for days or even weeks. For summer 2025, models show a massive northward bulge or ridge over the central United States. It's this amplified ridge that forms the backbone of the heat dome. Underneath this ridge, the air sinks, warms, and dries out, leading to prolonged, intense heat. The science linking a warming Arctic to this wavy jet stream is becoming clearer. The Arctic is warming more than twice as fast as the rest of the planet. That reduces the temperature difference between the polar north and the equator. Less difference means the jet stream's engine weakens. It slows down. A melting ice cap in the Arctic can directly affect the intensity of a heat wave in Kansas or Texas. It's a stark reminder of how interconnected Earth's systems are. When we look at the forecast map for Heatwave 2025, a few regions clearly stand out as the epicenters of the most extreme heat. The core of the heat dome is expected to park itself directly over the Central Plains. The core of the heat dome is expected to park itself over the Southern Plains. This means states like Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Nebraska are bracing for what could be their hottest summer on record. In this region, we are not just talking about temperatures in the high 90s, we are forecasting a prolonged period with daily highs ranging from 105 to 115 degrees Fahrenheit. The relentless nature of this heat will be the biggest challenge, with little to no relief expected for weeks on end. Moving eastward, the intense heat will expand to encompass the Mississippi River Valley and the Midwest. Cities like St. Louis, Memphis, Des Moines, and Minneapolis will be under the gun. What will make the heat particularly dangerous in this part of the country is the oppressive humidity. When high temperatures combine with high humidity, the heat index, or feels-like temperature, can soar often 10 to 15 degrees hotter than the actual air temperature. This combination makes it incredibly difficult for the body to cool itself through sweating, dramatically increasing the risk of heat stroke and other heat-related illnesses for anyone spending time outdoors. The Southeast will also be engulfed by this extreme heat and humidity. From Atlanta to Raleigh, residents will face a sweltering summer. This is truly a coast-to-coast event. The kind of extreme heat forecasted for Heatwave 2025 will fundamentally alter daily life for millions of Americans. Let's start with your health, the most immediate concern. Heat is a silent killer, a significant public health risk. Not just heat stroke from being outside, but prolonged heat also strains the cardiovascular system. Elderly, people with chronic conditions like heart disease or asthma, outdoor workers. Even healthy people will need to change routines. Infrastructure will be pushed to its limits, especially the power grid. Electricity demand will skyrocket as air conditioners run continuously. That strain can cause brownouts or widespread blackouts. Catastrophic for people without cooling. Transportation will also be affected. Extreme heat can buckle roads and warp railway lines, disrupting travel. Airlines may cancel flights. Hotter air is less dense, especially at high-altitude airports. Our relationship with the outdoors will have to change. Vacations, outdoor sports, let's stay safe and look out for one another. While the heat dome itself is a major story, what happens on its edges and when it finally weakens is just as dangerous. The atmosphere under a heat dome is like a coiled spring, loaded with an incredible amount of energy. Along the northern periphery of this dome, often called the Ring of Fire, hot, humid air cooler, drier air guided by the jet stream. This boundary becomes a breeding ground for explosive, often nocturnal, severe thunderstorm complexes. These are not your typical afternoon storms. They are large, organized systems that can travel for hundreds of miles overnight, producing widespread damaging winds, producing large hail, producing even tornadoes. The intense heat and humidity feed storms, creating high CAPE environments. When a trigger like a weak cold front moves in, the air can explode upward, creating thunderstorms with incredibly strong updrafts. Those updrafts let very large, destructive hail form, baseball-size hail, softball-size hail. Storms can also pack straight-line winds over 80 miles per hour, a phenomenon known as a derecho, putting communities on high alert for days on end. Given the forecast, having a personal safety plan is not just a good idea, it is essential. Your top priority during Heatwave 2025 must be to stay cool and stay hydrated. Drink more water than you think you need, even if you don't feel thirsty. If you don't have air conditioning at home, you need to identify your community's cooling centers now. These are public places where you can go to get relief from the heat. Libraries, community centers, designated shelters. It is crucial to know the signs of heat-related illness. Heat exhaustion symptoms include heavy sweating, weakness, cold or clammy skin, a fast but weak pulse, nausea, fainting. Heat stroke is a medical emergency. Symptoms include 103 degrees Fahrenheit or higher, hot, red, dry skin, a rapid and strong pulse, and possible unconsciousness. If you suspect someone has heat stroke, call 911 immediately and try to cool them down with whatever means you have until help arrives. Never, ever leave children or pets in a parked car, not even for a minute. For the severe storm threat, your preparation needs to be just as thorough. Every family should have a designated safe place in their home. For tornadoes or high winds, this is basement storm cellar, an interior room on the lowest floor with no windows. Have a severe weather kit ready to go in that safe place. Your kit should include a weather radio with extra batteries, a flashlight, a first aid kit, any necessary medications, and charged power banks for your cell phones. Finally, check on your neighbors. Community resilience starts with looking out for one another. Let's stay safe, stay informed, and look out for one another.